Hello, my name is Azat Mardan. I'm the founder of Node University. In this short lecture, I will teach you how to debug Node.js, how to find what is the problem with your source code. A lot of Node developers, beginners to Node.js, struggle. They struggle with those error messages. They try to debug. They think it should work. It's not working. Most of the times it's a syntax issue. Other times it's an asynchronous problem because they're expecting to have that data, but the data will be available later in the callback. They're not using a callback. It could be forgot to install a module and try to use it. That's a problem too. So let's dive deeper how to debug. There is a built-in debugger since version 8 or 7 or 8 in Node. You have the built-in debugger which will bring up Chrome DevTools. Before there was a pretty ugly debugger which works in a terminal. Who wants to use that, right? In a DevTools, in a Chrome DevTools, you would have a nice interface where you could put a breakpoint, you can step over, you can step in or outside, you can look at the source code. So like most of the other debuggers in Java or other languages. So you can do all of that functionality plus some more. You can analyze some memory leaks using CPU profiling and load them in that tool. So the way it works, you would launch your program in a special mode. Your program will open up a connection and then the DevTools will visualize it. It visualize and give you control over your application. So the way you start your program is with node space inspect space program.js or myscript.js, so the file name. So instead of just node program.js, you would say node inspect program.js, and that will open up that connection. Another way to debug is to use a good editor such as VSCode. VSCode already has a debugger inside. You just press on that bug with a no sign, and you start debugging right in your coding editor. VSCode, great tool. I switched to it, really love it. Highly recommend it for Node development. Personally, I almost never use the debugger. It just too troublesome for me to launch it and go through all the steps and use the watch and use the step in, step over, etc. What I do, and most of the times I don't do silly mistakes. Most of my mistakes are when I either don't get the data or I put a wrong argument or parameter, so I don't get the result I need. So what I do, I put console logs. Put console logs in a problematic places. I put it outside, I put it inside. So I put 3 or 4 of them, and that tells me basically where the execution stops or where I'm losing my data or where my data is not what I expected. So maybe the payload has a different formatting. So I can console log it, see the proper formatting, and then use the proper names to get the right data that I need to use in my front-end UI or use it in my Node application. So console.log, console.info, console.error, just put them. Don't forget to delete them or comment them. Then another useful tool, useful tip that I will give you, when you see that error message, look for your file name. So ignore everything else, look at your file name. It will tell you exactly where the problem is. It will tell you the line of the code. So just go there and you will see the problem. Most of the times it's either undefined, so that means you need to think through and make sure you import the proper object or you populate that object with a value. Other times you might get error address in use. That means you need to kill all other processes which might be listening on the same port. Here's the thing, you cannot listen on the same port from 2 applications. And the last common error, cannot find module. It's related to when you try to load a file, try to load a package, or when you're just starting a program. If I'm launching node foobar.js, but foobar.js is in a different folder or it doesn't exist, I'll also get cannot find module because Node.js treats my program as a module. So that's it about debugging. Just look at your file name and know the common errors, and after a few weeks of Node development, you will know where the problem is, and using good tools such as VSCode obviously helps. And I'll see you in the next short lecture. Have a great day.